Hi, welcome to week 1, day 4 of a JanYOUary fitness routine, just 10 minutes to a new you. We have something different every day, Monday through Friday through January. Some really great, easy to digest videos that are short and sweet. And today we are working on flexibility. So if ever there was a feel good flow, that is it today. We're going to work on flexibility in our spine. So come join me on your mat. We're going to get started right away. We're going to start kneeling. So come to a comfortable position on your knees. Pad your knees, of course, if that feels better for you. And from here, we're just going to take our hands to our hips. We're going to take some pelvic tilts. I want to be very aware of our spine and our pelvis today because we're going to work a lot into isolating these movements into our pelvis and our spine. So starting kneeling, I want you just to take a little tilt so that you're arching the low back. It's not going to be a huge movement here, but act like you're just tilting the whole pelvic bowl forward. And then we're going to tuck the tailbone. So you feel the lumbar starts to flatten. We start to tuck in the belly. And then from here, we're going to, again, tilt, get that arch in the back, over-exaggerate it. Maybe take your hand to your belly, one hand to your low back. So you can really feel the movement here, just tucking and then tilting the tailbone. Full body awareness of what it's like to make this motion and the freedom or maybe lack of movement that you have in this area of your body. Just get to know this region and start to free it in some movement. We'll do that 2 more times. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and take a cross-legged seat. Be comfortable, just cross your legs, sit up on a blanket if that feels good for you. And we'll get started with some half neck rolls. So let's just have the hands resting on the knees and then draw the chin to the chest. Feel the back of the neck round. And then let's drop the left ear over towards the left shoulder. Allow yourself to come through center, dropping the chin, dropping the head, allowing it to feel heavy, and then bring the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Rolling it through, use the breath. Feel it out, find openness. Exhale as you come through center, and as you inhale, we're going to come back over towards the right shoulder. The next time when you come through center, let's pause there, allow the head to hang heavy. Interlace the fingers and just bring them just behind the crown of the head. And without pulling, just use the weight of the hands to provide a gentle pull onto the head, into the back of the neck. Feel that reach down into the upper shoulders. Breathe gently here. You should still be able to breathe and shouldn't be closing off the front of the throat. Inhale the head back up. We're going to take a couple of twists, moving towards the right and then over towards the left. Right hand to the outside of the left knee, gazing back behind you. Just twisting out the spine and then moving at your own speed, maybe picking up the pace. We're going to do that just one more time, going over to the right and then ending on the left side. From here, let's take the hands to the outside of the knees and we're just going to make some circles, like we're drawing giant circles with the upper body. As you exhale, we draw the belly button back. As you inhale, come forward, maybe lean with the chest. Use the knees for leverage as we open up into the side body, moving in this currently counterclockwise position. If you started the other way, that's no problem because we are going to reverse it up. We'll take one more turn here, and as you come to the back, we're going to reverse it. Inhale, come forward, and then wind it out in the opposite direction. Last circle. Ending towards the back, and then come back up to a nice upright position. And then we're going to come over onto hands and knees, setting up in a tabletop position. And we aren't going to move straight into cat and cows, just like we did those pelvic tilts while kneeling. This time we're going to do them on all fours, but we're not going to involve the upper body or the head. We are only going to move the pelvis. So I want you to start by allowing the pelvis to drop. Just the pelvis. We're not going to gaze up as we would in cow. We just want to feel the pelvis moving, feeling the low back, creating a small arch. And then tuck the tailbone, moving the tailbone only. It's really requires some concentration. So we're so used to doing cat and cow that moving just the tailbone might create a little bit more of a mind-body connection, just having to think about what are we doing here exactly. Tucking the tailbone. We'll do one more time as we tilt and open up into that pelvis, and then tuck the tailbone. This time, as we tilt the pelvis and create the arch in the back, we can also come into cow. So your cow pose, inhale, exhale, let's come into cat, tucking the tailbone, and then following with the shoulders and the neck and the head. And then as we open up to cow, start to move the tailbone up and follow with the head maybe gazing up slightly, and then coming back into cats, opening up into cow. Very good. One more time, cats, opening up into cow. This time we'll come into cat, round into the back. And then we're going to start to push into the hands, push the hips back, come into a child's pose. We're going to move through child's pose, come onto the forearms, start to arch the back, and then look up as we come up onto the hands and come into cow for a little flow here, a little spinal roll out. Push back into child's pose, come onto the forearms, keep the belly low, and then start to draw a line with the nose as you reach up to the sky, and then rounding into the back, pushing into cats, coming through child's pose, moving on to the forearms, coming up, and then pushing back into cat. We're going to take this 2 more times. Inhale up, exhale, push back. Inhale up, exhale, push back, landing in your child's pose. From child's pose, we're going to come up into a tabletop and then push back into a downward facing dog. Very good. Take a nice inhale in your downward facing dog. Release it out through your mouth. One more. And release it out through the mouth. On the next inhale, we're going to inhale forward, rounding. Keep it really high as you come through plank. And then bend the knees. We're going to take this really slow motion. Push back with the hips, push back into the arms. And then we're coming back into our downward facing dog. You can pause, maybe look at your video, watch me as I do this. Come up high on the toes, come up to a high plank. Bend the knees, drop them, keep them above the mat as you push the hips back, push the arms back, keep them straight, and then come into downward facing dog. Again, coming forward, bending the knees, pushing back, pushing the hips back, and then pushing the heels down to the earth as we come through downward facing dog, and then back into plank. Bend the knees, push back, straightening out the legs, downward facing dog. We'll take that 2 more times. Coming forward into plank. Bend the knees, pushing back, straightening the legs, and then come forward. Bend the knees, push back, straighten the legs to your downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. Exhale it out through the mouth. One more. Exhale it out through the mouth. This time we're going to lower the knees to the mat, walk the arms out, lower the belly down to the earth. Straighten out the legs. Adjust the elbows so they're slightly in front of the shoulders as we come into Sphinx pose. Love this pose as a really, really gentle back bend. So nice to do even before bedtime. From our Sphinx pose, we're going to hold here, take a deep breath. Exhale, release it out. And you can certainly stay here, but if you want to take it deeper, maybe come up onto the fingertips or onto the palms of the hands, and then open up into a cobra pose. Elbows are slightly bent. From this cobra pose, we're going to take some cobra to, well, just some cobra roll downs. We're going to bend the elbows, lift and reach with the chest as we come forward. And then we're going to roll it back, allow the head to drop, lift up, start to straighten the elbows slightly. They don't need to fully straighten. And then bend, roll down. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, roll it down. Lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really good. From here, we're going to go ahead and lower ourselves back down. Take the hands just underneath the shoulders. And we're going to do some baby cobra lifts. We're going to take 10 reps of these baby cobra lifts to strengthen into the back body. So as we do this, engage the back body. Keep the feet slightly separated so that we're keeping some space for the low back. And then we're going to lift up with the chest. It doesn't need to be very high. Hands come up off of the mat as we pause for 1 and lower down. Lift up for 2, pause, and lower down. Lift up for 3, pause, and lower. Lift up for 4, pause here, and lower down. Lift up for 5, hold, pause, and lower. Lift up for 6, and lower it down. Lift up for 7, and lower. 3 more to go. Can you lift a little bit higher? Lift up for 8. Keep the elbows drawing back. 9. Last one, 10. We'll hold for 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. Wonderful. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to push back, coming through a tabletop. And then from our tabletop, we're going to cross the left knee up and over the right shin. Open the feet so that we can just sit back in between the feet. And then bring that right foot to the outside of this left thigh. So we're setting up for a nice twist here as we close out our quick practice. The left hand can go behind the left hip. We're going to open up into the right arm, lift it up to the sky, and then maybe bring it out to the outside of that right knee for an open twist today. When you're ready, release and unwind. You can come back up into a tabletop. This time we're going to cross that right knee over the left and then sit back. However you want to make your way into your twists, we can get all kinds of fancy. Bring the right hand behind the right glute, lift the left hand up to the sky, bring the left elbow to the outside of the left knee for an open twist, looking over and behind you to the right. And when you're ready, go ahead and unwind the torso, unwind the legs, and that is it for our really quick spine flexibility and mobility class. So a little bit of strength with a little bit of movement, that gives us mobility, and just getting some work into that spine is a feel-good thing for us any time of the day. If you have 10 minutes, come back to this practice even before bed. It's a good one. I hope you enjoyed this. Please hit that subscribe button so you get your notifications of this awesome month of short videos. And as always, leave a comment. Let me know how you liked it. Have a great day. Make it a good one. Bye.